Just like the Star Wars franchise, it can be a bit confusing for new people to understand the timeline. If Shadow of Chernobyl is the episode 4 of the series, then Clear Sky would be episode 1. We are going to explore the story based on the official timeline, not the release date order. Disclaimer: big spoilers ahead. Do not watch if you want to play the game and experience the story on your own. This is going to be a summary, so we are not going to explore every mission in the game, rather just the main plot points. Before we explain how S.T.A.L.K.E.R set foot in the zone in Clear Sky, let's look at how it all began. 2006. In 4th of March, the skies start to become brighter than bright above the Chernobyl power plant. Not after a month later, the same thing occurs, only more violently. The blinding light is followed by long-lasting thunders. Red clouds start to spread over the entire area, making it impossible to run away. The zone abruptly grows 5 kilometers bigger after an emission which came to be known as the second disaster. The zone today manifested with the very laws of science being defined. Most of the military securing the perimeter perished, together with laboratories and their crews. Panic-stricken people from nearby villages were evacuated. Between 2006 and 2010, scientists begin to develop useful tools that can help them explore the zone, discovering the first stalker, which is said to be Guide. Soon after the news are being leaked about the zone, all kinds of people make their way in. The government starts taking measures as they don't want artifacts getting into the wrong hands. The second emission takes place as the common consciousness unleashes a massive blowout in order to destroy S.T.A.L.K.E.R, Fang, and Ghost as they retreat from the CNPP. Faction wars begin when stalkers fight to redefine spheres of influence after the emission. We see S.T.A.L.K.E.R, a mercenary, escorting a group of scientists when an emission suddenly occurs. Only S.T.A.L.K.E.R survives, as he was chosen in some way by the zone. This emission appears to have happened due to S.T.A.L.K.E.R getting too close to the CNPP. S.T.A.L.K.E.R also survives. Doc is his possible savior if you look at the cutscenes. S.T.A.L.K.E.R gets healed by the doctors from the Clear Sky faction, then sent on another task when an emission appears out of nowhere. S.T.A.L.K.E.R is told that he has a special immunity to emissions, but may not survive any more blowouts from now on. His only choice being to find out who is trying to reach the center of the zone and eliminate them. He finds out from Sidorovich, not after helping him with something of course, where the group of stalkers might be headed. He discovers information about Fang, who's part of the group, shortly after he uncovers who S.T.A.L.K.E.R is and his whereabouts. Fast forward after a few missions and S.T.A.L.K.E.R takes down S.T.A.L.K.'s eye helmet right at the CNPP, which ends the game. We never know what might have happened to our main protagonist after the blowout. You can check out our video about S.T.A.L.K.E.R if you're interested. Everyone within the proximity to the plant, Clear Sky or otherwise, is hit and begins succumbing to the effects of the emission. During the closing cutscene, they can be seen crowded in the corridors of the CNPP, shaking unnaturally whilst video screens flash of historic images of the CNPP with distorted black and white images. These signs foreshadow that those not already killed outright by the blast are about to experience a worse fate, brainwashed to become part of the monolith forces, or, like S.T.A.L.K.E.R, become unwitting agents of the common consciousness. After the initial occurrences, Marked One, this time our main protagonist, is being shown in a death truck. He is later saved by the character Proverb, who only appears in cutscenes of the vanilla game. He delivers him to Sidorovich. Sidorovich takes advantage of his amnesia to further his agenda. It is only worth mentioning that the PDA is most likely scarce. You'll see why in a bit. The trader's objective is to open the road to the north and other business interests, now having a highly skilled stalker helping him. Helping Sidorovich would be the only way to find S.T.A.L.K.E.R, so Marked One begins his path into the creepy laboratories that hide the secrets of the Brain Scorcher. When he returns from X-18, it is revealed that the brain scorcher is man-made. In X-16, he has one of his common visions of the future, after he faints, which puts him in the situation to find Doc. Mark I, as we know him, discovers the stash in Agroprom, and at one point he finds Doc, where the revelation begins. Mark I is actually S.T.A.L.K.E.R. After many collaborations with Wolf, Barman, Sakharov, Voronin, Petrenko, Lukash and many others, he finally disables the brain scorcher this time. Reaching this point, he lets everyone get to the center of the zone. Doc tells S.T.A.L.K.E.R that the Wish Granter is a fly trap and asks him to investigate, while giving him a key to the Pripyat hotel containing the decoder that can open a door within the sarcophagus. At this point, it is the player's decisions whether to investigate the Wish Granter or discover what's really behind the powerful blowouts. S.T.A.L.K.E.R now makes his way through Pripyat with the help of some loners to fight the brainwashed monolith and eventually get to the CNPP through the stadium. The monolith forces make a last stand against S.T.A.L.K.E.R. This time, his will acts as a force of nature. His wish for knowledge is so persistent that he doesn't fear death anymore. A big emission is about to take place, so our hero takes shelter in no other than the power plant's sarcophagus, which leads him to the Wish Granter. Here, depending on how the player got through the game, is faced with a few ending cutscenes that are objectively bad since the protagonist dies due to his wishes. However, if you explore the game more, you'll find the lab. Inside the heavily defended lab is a large holographic terminal through which an entity calling itself the Common Consciousness communicates. It readily answers S.T.A.L.K.E.R questions, revealing what it is, who S.T.A.L.K.E.R is, and the events prior to his amnesia. In short, the C consciousness is a group of people which refer to themselves as an entity that is capable of altering people's thoughts through a field of energy recently discovered, the noosphere. The noosphere is linked to every human being on Earth, and it is believed that we can control it and bring peace to the world. You can either destroy the lab or join the C consciousness in their quest for peace. Game starts right after S.T.A.L.K.E.R opened the road to the north. The military wants to seize access to the CNPP and eliminate all monolith forces, commencing Operation Fairway. The mission is a failure after all the helicopters crash, and our new hero begins his journey to investigate. Major Dekhtyarev is sent as an undercover stalker in Zaton to reveal how the copters were destroyed. Soon after, he befriends the locals and has a few bottles of vodka with them, finds out the source of the crashes. The military was apparently unaware of anomalies that can create high jolts of sudden electricity, which overloaded the heli systems. However, there were survivors no one knew of, that were in Pripyat waiting for their evacuation. Dekhtyarev makes a team of 4 stalkers, Veno, Strider, Zulu and Sokolov, in order to get through Jupiter underground and finally Pripyat. When they get out of the tunnels, a military squad ambushes them, and shortly after we meet their leader, Colonel Kowalski. It becomes clear that the survivors of Operation Fairway are locked in battle with monolith forces, scattered throughout the city and taking heavy casualties. After eliminating pockets of monolith presence, the Major learns about an underground laboratory, Lab X8, and discovers top-secret documents about its operations as well as experiments conducted in the zone. When he returns, Kowalski speaks with Dekhtyarev and asks him to destroy a monolith radio jammer in the kindergarten, allowing them to communicate with the HQ again. Not long after, they detect a moving signal which they believe to be a monolith squad attempting to attack a few remaining survivors. He finds out that it is in fact S.T.A.L.K.E.R coming to the army base. S.T.A.L.K.E.R tells them that he has invaluable information about the zone that would be able to help the government. He also explains the reason why the choppers fell. Even though they had mapped out the anomalies, they didn't know that with each emission the anomalies change places, to the failure of the operation. They have to wait until the end of another mission to send out a new anomaly map to a rescue unit. They are successful, and 2 choppers arrive to extract survivors, including the Major and S.T.A.L.K.E.R, near the Prometheus cinema. They are ambushed several times on the way by mutants and zombies, but manage to finally reach the plaza, where the rescue unit is under heavy fire from the Monolith troops. With the help of survivors and the Major, the military fights back and are able to extract in the choppers. And here we are. Hope we got everything right. Before we end the video, we announced that a Q&A is coming as soon as we reach 500 subscribers. So come with as many questions as you want on our Facebook page. Make sure you subscribe and share. Also see you around in the Zone Facebook group. But until then, good hunting, Stalker.